What is up, people of YouTube? I'm the wife and I'm here with your host Vernon. This is Lake Mead. Let's fish that.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is the month of May. This is an exciting time of the year for some fishing. If you haven't caught any fish yet, this is a great time to get out there, especially with children. The carp are starting to feed, catfish are feeding, bluegill are up shallow on beds. A great time to use small hooks and some night crawlers to catch a lot of fish, as well as a lot of the bodies of water around. Gets the annual stocking of catfish and some bluegill as well. So this is a great time of the year to get out there and catch some fish. This does also impact the bass fishing. This does not mean that you can no longer catch bass, but the bass do change their behaviors. They're no longer sitting on beds in one specific spot. They are moving around looking for food. So we just need to change the way we target these fish. Generally, the bass tend to split up into two groups. One group goes into the deep water on the cliff edges and rock edges down in the deep waters. The second group tends to stay up shallow, but they are looking for cover, whether that be submerged bushes or some grass or even some docks. But there is no clear-cut switch being flipped and the fish change their moods. It's a gradual thing. Every cove is different. You can find some of the coves, the bass are still on the beds, whereas in one cove over you'll find some 1-inch fry already swimming around. So each cove is different, each fish is different. You need to test out the different baits and lures to find what these fish want. In this video out here today, we are again at Boxcar Cove. This time around, it's only 2 weeks since the last time I was out here. I want to see whether the same lures still work, or whether I need to change the pattern already. And as you saw, the wife is out here as well. She's trying to get a smallmouth bass. That's her objective for the day. And because we are 2 licensed anglers, we are allowed 2 rods each. So on our second rods, we are going to be soaking some baits out there, some anchovies, to see if we can get some striped bass.
Okay.
Alright guys, first smallmouth for my wife. She's trying to target him for a while now. Finally got him. Gonna give it to her so she can take care of the fish. There we are guys, lovely little smallmouth. First one for my wife. I think we're quickly gonna get a measurement on this one so we know what her new PB is. Let's quickly get the lip grips.
So it's 1.5 pounds, which is 24 ounces and 0.68 kilograms.
So not the biggest smallmouth, but at least it's a smallmouth.
My biggest smallmouth.
Wife is on the board with her first smallmouth. Just quickly getting a revive on the fish. He looks nice and strong. And off he goes. So we could see that particular fish down in the water. Tried the shaky head, saw how he react to it, but he wasn't grabbing it. So quickly swapped out to the Ned rig, and the wife managed to get that little smallmouth on the Ned rig, something that on the drop while it was falling. Something that I have not yet been able to do is catch a fish on the Ned rig. So wife beat me on that one. Alright guys, a few things I quickly would like to point out. First thing, last time I was out here, that's only 2 weeks ago, the water levels were a lot higher. It's scary to see it's something like a foot to 2 feet worth of water that's already gone from this lake. That means this summer is going to be very dry. I'm going to have lots of low water levels. And happy with the wife finally landing her first smallmouth. We actually had a largemouth hooked when I was trying to show her how to work the lures, off camera of course. That was on the shaky head. The wife landed the one on the Ned rig now. So I'm going to swap over to the Ned rig, throw that around a bit. It seems that the smaller size is working better. The fish are looking at the little shaky head, but they're not committing to it. So I'm thinking the smaller size is the key. Another thing that I've noticed, the fish are no longer on the shallower parts. They're no longer close to the beds. They're actually moving to the drop-off. There's a little shelf and then there's a big drop-off. The fish seem to be sitting on that drop-off. Alright guys, no rest for the wicked. Saw the smallmouth was back in the area, casted out the Ned rig to him, and we managed to hook the same fish as my wife caught. Let's quickly land him again. This will be my first fish caught on a Ned rig.
Played along nicely.
And there we are, fish landed. Nice smallmouth again on the Ned rig. No, it's the same one because he has a mark on his head. Got him hooked nice in the lip. Let's quickly get him off the hook. And there we go, 2 family members catching the same fish a few hours apart. Let's get him back into the water. Just want to revive him a bit. Already biting me. And off he goes. Alright guys, tried something a bit different. Kept seeing some bluegill around. And we managed to foul hook one. Nice orange chest ready for mating. Using a little dragonfly nymph imitation. Just throwing it out in the water. This little guy was eager enough to go for it. Nice size bluegill. These guys are moving up, preparing for their spawn. So let's get this one back into the water. And off he goes. Could see a school of 3 of them swimming around. Just cast a little lure out there, let it sink, move it around. That one went for it. But the little hook I have is too big for his mouth, so we managed to foul hook him, but at least we got one. Alright guys, we had quite a lot of fun out there. Haven't caught that many fish out there today, but we've been quite successful. My wife getting her first smallmouth bass. Me luckily enough catching the exact same bass. First time using a Ned rig that I actually land a fish. And of course we got that little bluegill there in the end as well, swapping to some different lures. I have to say, quite successful. My goal for today was to test out the lures that I caught fish with the last time I was out here. Quite strange to see how 2 weeks can make such a big impact, but the fish are still willing to go for these lures. It's just a lot harder to find the fish with the lowering of the water. as well as the fish not sitting on beds anymore. They are moving around. Every once in a while you can see the fish coming around. You have to cast around 5 feet of water. They're not up shallow. You have to cast in deep. Getting some nibbles on the claws of the little craw imitations. We had some hits on the shaky worm. We had some luck with the Ned rig out there. So all in all, a successful video.
So thank you guys for following us out here. And if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, and I'll see you next time.